Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beal, and I'm coming to you with a review of Tyler Perry's Sisters Season 4, Episode 14. I feel like I'm looking weird. I don't know. I changed my phone. Because y'all know I record on my phone. I ain't got no camera. I ain't there yet. We'll get there, but not now. Anyway, so the episode picks up where it left off, and that is with Sabrina and Danny in the grocery store. So they run around, they getting groceries, and then the two people from Mbittu country, chair, something that Tyler Perry made up. They done stalked Sabrina. Ooh, it is you. It is you. You know how they did on Coming to America. I am so very happy to be here. Oh, my life. You know what? Coming to America is my second favorite movie, and I can quote it. So I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, so they were like, "It's you. You know, we see you on the magazines and all of this stuff. But can we take a picture?" And Danny over there looking like, "What? A picture?" They look at Danny like, we don't know you like that, but can you hold this phone so you can take our picture?" Then they're like, "Oh, okay. Excuse me." So they, oh, I can't wait to go tell my mommy. I'm telling my mommy. Well, every time we go and take pictures, we go and tell everybody we know. Anyway, so they go ahead, they scatter, going on off. And then here's Danny. Girl, what in the Coming to America, Wakanda is going on here? Girl, we said the same thing. We thinking the same way. Tyler Perry done wrote in a whole. Remember the episode of the Jamie Foxx show? Anyway, I digress. So she's like, "I know you looked him up." And Sabrina's like, "No, I didn't look him up." She was like, "Yes, you did. We all do. We all look up to people, you know." And she was like, "Well, I mean, I did look him up, but I didn't see that he was a prince." And then Danny get her phone out. She like, "Hold on, where did they say he was? In bit two?" She's like, "Yeah, girl." That's my hand. Ain't no pictures on there. Anyway, she was like, "Girl, that's him. That's him. Let me see it. That is him." Girl, we gotta go tell the girls. No, don't tell the girls. Sabrina always so humble, and she still got that church dress on all day. Everybody went and changed their clothes, and she still got this dress on. But that is besides the point. So they just like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna tell girl," because Danny like, "Girl, I tell everybody. I be gloating, I be bragging, child. Prince want me, and he rich, and he got people out here taking my pictures all in Kroger's and Walmart's and stuff." That's Danny. But Sabrina like, "Nope, I'm not doing it." You know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep it cool. We gonna keep it low key until, it's time. Because I gotta get to know him some more. Girl, you already got him in your house. He coming over to your house. So I guess you're gonna get to know him real good. So anyway, that goes. And then you have Fatima and you have Andy. Child, they back down there at the courthouse. So they said, look, I paraphrase a lot. It is not gonna be no verbatim. Anyway, so they back down at the courthouse, Patina still got on her red dress and her high heels. I would have been took them shoes off. Whoo! I ain't got time for no shaky feet and no ankles. But anyway, so she still got on her high heel shoes and her red dress. I mean, of course, she been in jail or whatever. And so Andy like, "Yeah, we got you out, And then, Robert did what he did because he got her out. And then Patina is like, "So what about Zach?" "Well, it's going to be a little bit harder for Zach, because he's still on probation and he had other charges." And so they were like, "Oh my God." And Andy calls her Bunny. "Now, come on, Bunny." She said, "What you mean, Bunny? Shoot, you over here riding a dime for Zach? Or what y'all, Bunny and Clyde? But that was two girls. Bunny and Clyde was a woman and man. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so she's sitting down. She's standing up. She don't know what to do. She's frantic. "I need to go back to the office." "No, you don't need to go. Don't worry about all that stuff. I'll get somebody to pick all your stuff, stuff up for you." And she's just like, "But I just can't leave Zach like this. I don't feel good about it. There is nothing you can do. I got some people." And they're like, "Who you know? Are they legal?" "Okay, well, you handle the people that you know, and I handle people I know." So Andy goes over there in the corner, and she calls Robin. "Ring, ring, ring, Robin. Man, it might be a little harder. It might be in the morning because the judge, he owed me a favor. So we gonna do what we gonna do, but it might be in the morning." So they get off the phone. Child, Fatima talking about she gonna stay there all night. Girl, you can't stay there all night. I know you love your man. I know you Roger. I know you die, but honey, go home and take a shower. You smell like gel and shoes. please go home and take a shower. So she convinces her to come home, go home, everything gonna be taken care of. Girl, we got this, so they gone home. All right, so then you have Maurice. Maurice out there at the club, with his little white stuff on. So he kind of sitting down, he upset because, he mad at Calvin. So the bartender come around. What is the bartender name? White bartender? Anyway, so he come on over to the table. He like, what's going on, girl? Oh, child, I'm so mad at that Calvin. What you mad at Calvin for? He done let the man come into my house and all this. And here go Calvin, come up. Why Calvin was acting real sassy when he drunk? I said, Calvin, you really... I guess the real you come out when you drunk, because he was real sassy, I was like, okay, all right. So, he's sitting there, and then Q like, we was just talking about you. What you talking about me for? That's Calvin. We doing all this. And so, he was just like, yeah, how you let Q in my house. My thing is this, Maurice, that's your house. You didn't have to have Q in your house. You still could have made the last decision to be like, Q, I don't want you in my house. And then Maurice makes a statement, you want him in there for you? Because you know how you are. And then he was like, no, I'm about to get ready to go. So Calvin is drunk. So he gets up and his shirt all over kind of ways and telling, Maurice, whatever, I ain't got time for you. I'm about to go home. And Maurice tell him, you run around here drunk. Somebody get up in there. You need to calm your butt down before you be drunk and you doing things that you ain't supposed to be doing, i.e. with you. Anyway, so Calvin goes on off, and then the bartender's just like, so what's the problem? He was just like, well, you know how he is. He's sleeping on my couch. Is my stuff recorded? Oh, it is recorded. He's sleeping on my couch, and he just saying like, he like old chocolate melted some, how I like chocolate, and bartender like, ooh, yeah, So they sitting over there, but he's still mad because he's trying to resist the temptation. And so he's just trying to figure out how is he going to handle Q being in his house without falling into diverse temptation. And that's hard. And so Q, he get up, give me a drink, so he get his drink and he, and he kind of walks on off or whatever. All right, so then you have Erin and then you have Karen. So did y'all see how Karen was eating them pickles? I said, girl, you was really pregnant. I don't know. That's how she eat pickles when you pregnant. I don't know. But anyway, so she's sitting there eating them pickles on the couch. She kind of laid this way. And then you have Erin. He's sitting up this way. He etch-a-sketching. Child, my son pulling up. Anyway, y'all gonna see him walk in. Because I'm in the den. And he outside. But anyway, so he etch-a-sketching. She like, what you doing over there? You know how she talk. But she more country. So what you doing? I don't know. I can't do her. So he like, I'm drawing you. When I'm in my head and my thoughts, I draw. She's like, well, what you drawing? You. So, well, he shows her the picture. And she like, oh, who is that? Talking about, come on. Talking about, who was that? Talking about, that's you. She said, that look real old. How is that me? That look old. And he was just like, well, that's you in the future. She was like, dang, I got all these bags up under my eyes in the future. He was like, yeah. Hey, son. What's up? You gonna say hi to the people? What's up? You didn't say hi to the people. That's what's my up? Duck your head down. You know I got this camera up. What's up? Hey, son. I love you. All right. Anyway. So, he like, yeah, when I get in my head, I draw, and, she talk about the woman look old and all this stuff, and he said, no, look at it. So, she got the paper, and she like, oh, I still don't get it. Look at it. I'm like, girl, look at it. What do it do? I'm looking too like, what is it? And then she said, oh, it's a bunch of words. It's a bunch of words made out of my neck and my chin and my eyes and my eyebrows and my hair strands. And them words say, I know you've been going through a lot. I'm paraphrasing. And I know we having this baby, and you probably said and you don't want me to be the baby daddy, but I'm gonna be here for you regardless. You're gonna look back on this pain and be like, yeah, that nigga was there for me when nobody else was. And he stayed in my life and he kept me. And she gonna be crying. When I didn't have no hope, I was there for you. Anyway, so I digress. So, she reading, it was all pretty and it was sentimental. And I was like, oh, that's real cute and sweet. Cause so she is gonna look back over that when she however old that picture said that she looked. And she gonna be happy. And so then she looks at him and she said, make love to me. And he said, okay. He didn't hesitate at all. So, she gets on top of him, getting a straddle and they kissing and all that stuff, right? All right, so then you are back at the house with Andy, and El Flago comes in the house because she called El Flago to come in and sweep the house and make sure ain't no bugs running around the house. Not bugs like that, but the bugs where people can hear what you're saying and see what you're doing, because she got the house from Gary, and so she trying to make sure Gary ain't Garying in her house, and so he comes in and he said, yeah, you. What did he say? Because he was being real professional. And he was just like, yeah, I come over to sweep the house. And she's like, oh, you're very professional. He was like, yes, this is my job, And then he was like, why are you looking at me like that? Because Andy was just looking at him. And then the way that they made the music like they was finna do something different. I'm just like, what y'all got going on? And he just like, she said, you got your briefcase and stuff. You got your gadgets in your briefcase. What you doing? And he said, I know. He said, I know y'all looking at me like, oh, I'm just a stripper. But I'm not just a stripper, I went through college, I graduated, but when I got out of college, I ain't gonna get no job. So I had to go strip. I had to shake that thing for a little bit of change. That's what I had to do. You know what? And there's a lot of people out there. There a lot of people in this situation. They graduate college, they can't get in their field, so they do what they can do, He said, but I'm trying to get my business off the ground. That's what I'm trying to do. She just like, yeah, because I know you was real smart in school and stuff, but yeah. So, then you get a call. You gotta let them up. She's like, oh, do I need to, nah, that's just Danny and Sabrina, man. I'm about to get ready to go. Because, El Flago and Danny had the thing going on. And, he was just like, man, Danny, she just mean. Somebody, she mean? Yeah, what? Yeah, she kind of mean to everybody, but that kind of means she like you. But I don't think she like me like that. That's what El Flago said. She was just like, well, I think, well, you do got the whole stripper thing going on, so that probably be turn off to her, And he was just like, well, yeah, So they come on in the house, and Andy is like, yeah, and Sabrina like, hey, El Fuego, and then it just like, hey, they going over there to the little bar thing, and they kind of sit down and they talk, and so they're talking about Karen. So before they start talking about Karen, they talking about El Fuego, and Sabrina looking like, so he all in here, huh? So I'm like, yeah, he's sweeping the place, making sure Gary ain't got no bugs and stuff running through my house. And she was just like, oh, so when did he start doing that? Then Andy told about the whole thing about him trying to get a job. He couldn't get no job and all that stuff. And so Sabrina's like, is that all he doing? She was like, yeah, And Danny is just looking at him like, oh, well, yeah. And then they start bringing up the whole Karen situation. So what we going to do about Karen? So I don't know what we're going to do about Karen. Karen talking about she still wants Zach. She's still in love with Zach. We don't know how to, get it through her head that Zach has moved on with Fatima. Andy was like, I tried to tell her. Danny said, I tried to tell her too. But she's just not listening. So I don't know what to do. And then Danny like, so what we do? What you do about Gary? So but this is not about me. This is about Karen. And so then Danny is just like, well, you need to make sure, El Fuego ain't put no. I guess she was saying you better make sure that Gary ain't talking to El Fuego to put bugs, put extra cameras in the house. El Fuego ain't put no cameras in the house. Or something to that effect. I know she just said you need to go watch El Fuego, make sure he ain't doing nothing he ain't supposed to be doing. So she gets up and she goes like, oh, okay, you're right. Let me go check on, Mr. El Fuego. So then you have Sabrina and Danny back talking about Karen. And so they're just like, oh, so have you even talked to Karen? It was like, no, I ain't talked to her all day. I haven't called her all day. I wonder what she's doing. Like, oh, you know what? She's probably went to the hospital. Well, that makes sense why she would be there all day. So, then they said, well, maybe we need to go and go to her house. Just go to her house and see what she's been doing. But this was weird because, okay, Andy goes back and talks. And she's just like, they talk about the whole situation about they haven't talked to her all day. Andy looks through her phone to see if Karen calls. But this is the part that got confusing to me because I was like, when Karen just at your office, Andy? And then you sit up there and then Karen tell you that that baby could either be Erin's or Zach's. So I don't understand why you did not disclose that information with Danny and Karen, because they seem like they just so wary, but you have talked to Karen. I'm like, does that make sense to y'all? Because why is Andy over here acting like she didn't know anything? Like she hasn't talked to her at all. But in actuality, you did talk to her. You know, I just thought that was real weird how maybe she's just protecting her. Maybe she just wants Karen to tell them herself. So they all make the conscious decision to go down to Karen's house. She down there getting it on with Erin. Anyway, so then El Fuego says there is nothing there, you know, everything looks good, and that makes Andy happy. So then you have Danny, she goes over to the corner, and she's like, let me holler at you for a little bit, partner. And so they talk a little bit, and she just like, you know, I'm sorry, I ain't really been getting back to you. I've been stressed out, and, you know, I'll explain to you more about what's going on with me. I mean, you can take me out to dinner, you can pay, you know, take me out. He was like, take you out. How about you cook something for me? I feel two ways about that. First of all, you like me, right? Shouldn't you take me out? But Andy do be, shut my door. Shut the door. Get out. Shut my dog and my daughter.
When you get done, can you put my phone in the dryer?
Okay. Shut my door. Child. You just can't get through the day sometimes. Anyway, I'm not putting her clothes in the dryer. When I'm finished, she can put her own clothes in the dryer. Anyway, so where was I at? Okay, so then it's just like my thought was, okay, Danny, you do be a little bit too pushy. You do. And then you do be too pushy. And El Fuego, she don't have to cook for you. Why don't you just take her out to dinner? Because y'all really ain't never had a date. So why you gotta come over to her house to eat? I mean, I don't know. Tyler Perry writes this stuff kind of weird when it comes to these women and men. It's almost like, it's just kind of weird to me how they did that whole thing. But, so after that whole conversation is over, and then they go back over, you know, Danny goes back over to the table, you know, and then they were just like, yeah, we're going to go on over to Andy's house because we got to figure out what's going on with her. You know, Zach moved on. Karen got to move on, so everybody going to move on over to her house. All right, so then you have... All right, so then you have the whole thing about Robin, right? So Robin... Oh, because... What's her name? Andy said she had to go get her shoes before they left. So Andy goes back into her bathroom, and she calls Robin on the phone. And she's just like, oh, yeah, Robin, you know, I'm not going to be able to meet with you tonight because I'm with my girls. There's a crisis going on, blase, blase, blase. And he's just like, no, don't worry about it. You know, we can still get together. Then she says, okay, she thought about it. My place not booked, so you can come on over to my house. And so he's like, I'll come over to your house. All right, we moving on up. So they're going to the house. And so back at the office, Robin is there, right? And when I tell you this conversation had me hollering, because Robin was there. So he finna go play a little game with Mr. Hayden. So he goes over into Hayden's office. That's me knocking. And he's like, oh, you know, Hayden, like, what's going on with all them black eyes and ears and lips? And so he just like, so can I come talk to you for a minute? Yeah, you know. And then Robin's like, man, it's crazy, right? What's going on with this whole fight thing I heard, you know? And then Hayden is just like, oh, okay, so, you know, you heard, like, yeah, you know, they was talking about the stuff about you know, you and Fatima, and, you know, what's going on? He was just like, nothing, man, that girl, she just crazy, you know, she just want me, and I don't want her like that. That's what I'm saying, these girls in Atlanta, they crazy. That's why I go with the white girls. I get the white girls. I was like, so, that's your excuse to get with the white girls, because the black girls crazy. Okay, so you're going to down one whole race of women to uplift another. Anyway, so then he was just like, yeah, so wait, I mean, what y'all got going on? Don't she got a boyfriend? And he came up here, I just heard because, the water cooler talk, everybody was talking about, around the water cooler, and he was just like, yeah, man, that old loser ex-con she get, and he ain't got nothing on me because, whatever. And so and then Robin was just like, yeah, yeah. So what's really, still trying to pick his brain, like what's going on. And he was like, yeah, that doggone Fatima, she jealous. She come through my house and she busting all my windows out my car and through my apartment and stuff like that because she just jealous. She just real crazy. But I had to set her up. I put her in jail and she not getting up. And I put her ex-boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, not an ex-boyfriend, but her ex-con boyfriend in jail too. They not getting out. Then he knows the judge and all that stuff and they not getting out. And he was just like, really? So all of that, huh? So what did you do? What did you do? He said, I ain't do nothing. She just won't shake me. She just won't leave me alone. He was just like, wow. And then he started talking about but you and Fatima, y'all were. Did anybody know that you and Fatima was messing around? He was like, no, didn't nobody know. We got this whole no fraternizing amongst the co-workers in the office place. It's against the law and stuff. He was just like, yeah, you sure right. And then Hayden is just like, well, you here from London. What you here for? So my I just got some little biz I need to take up. I got to meet with the partners. He was just like, oh, okay. But what you doing with Andy? I know you hitting it. He was like, nah, I ain't messing with Andy. I think she's cool, He said, but really, he said, I'm gay. Hayden is like, oh, okay. He said, well, you Hayden, you really more my type. Hayden like, man, I don't get down like that, bro. You coming around the wrong. I ain't like that, He was just like, oh. He said, really? He said, it just kind of seems different. And then he just kind of stared at him. Hayden like, man, bro. Then he tried to switch it back around. But what's up with you and Andy? Y'all always talking and y'all always be together in the corners and stuff. He was just like, nah, I like her shoes. I said, you know what? Then he just stared. But I do like you, though. You sure I can't change your mind? He like, bruh, I don't get down like that over here. You come on. Go on. And then Robin just staring at him. He said, well, you have a great day. Well, all right. Well, you have a great day too. He gets up and kind of walks out. Hayden is confused because he just thought that he was really going to get some information out of that about that whole, with him and Andy, but he flipped that stuff so quick. I said, Tyler, you know how to make somebody, say that they gay in these? Because I've been hearing the word gay through this whole episode. Anyway, so then you're back with Fatima and you have Zach, right? So they ring. Zach calls Fatima. Fatina's like, how you know I was going to answer the phone? And Zach said, I was going to call you until you answered that phone. Because I just knew you. She knew she was going to get out. And Fatima apologized. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put you in all this. He was like, nah, don't worry about it. We going to stay positive. As much as you ride for me, I got to ride for you. And then Fatima was like, I just can't stand that hate. And he just get on my nerves. He said, I can't stand him either, but he ain't on the phone. We got to talk. It's between me and you now. What you doing? What you eat today? Tell me, I can't eat. I'm worried about you. No, just I'm in jail. Let me fantasize. She told me I cooked some chicken steak, grits, apple pies, and stuff like that. To my dang, that's good. I can't eat none of it or whatever. But so they talking about how much they love each other. They gonna get out. She come and live with her at the house. She said, I'm not living with you. I ain't got no ring. Don't worry about no ring, baby. You gonna get a ring real soon. And she was just like, oh, okay, real soon. They doing that old jail talk. But he really mean it. He ain't gonna be in there long. He said he paid. He gonna make bail. Child, they didn't say that in the next episode. But anyway, so she's just like, I'm so sorry. I just love you. I'd do anything for you. I would have stayed down there at the jail for you, but Andy made me leave. So, she was just like, we don't worry about it. We're going to stay positive. We're going to get through this. And okay, then, the operator come in. You have 10 seconds. Okay, I'll leave real quick. Okay, so they get out the phone and he just be like, hitting the phone. Whatever. So then at the end of this scene, Calvin comes home drunk. And then I was conflicted because Calvin comes home drunk. But I'm like, so did he drive home drunk? So he can drive all the way home drunk. Anyway, so he gets there, he drunk, he put his keys down. And he's saying that he needed some, Q on the couch. So he loud, Q like, oh, he gets up off the couch, they kind of sitting up together. And so Calvin talking about his mouth dry. Q gets up, get him some water. To my yeah. So then he sits beside him and they start talking. And so Calvin is venting because he's drunk. So he's venting. And he's telling him about Sabrina and how Sabrina don't want no more. And he trying to get with this crazy girl. And Q just like, dang, why she don't want you no more? So my yeah, she just think I'm gay. Why she think you gay? Because that one time, we was intimate and she had a vibrator. He was like, oh, so what you mean? If your jump didn't work, you couldn't get it up? He was like, man, no, I get it up. I just wanted her to use it on me. You like, what? On you? Ooh. So you like that, huh? Somebody, yeah, that's the bomb. It feel good. He's talking about, it feel good, huh? Oh, okay. He's talking about, but what you know about, he's talking because Calvin kept saying, I'm not gay. And then Q talking about, yeah, I feel you, man, because I ain't gay either. He said, hey, you ain't gay, and you run around here sleeping with, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, pretty much. And Susie and Sally now. And so he was just like, yeah, man, I'm he said, so what, you bisexual? He said, no, I mean bisexual, I'm cash sexual. They, so he cash sexual. I said, oh, okay, so you cash sexual. He said, I do what I gotta do to get by. He gay for pay. Whoever he gonna sleep with that day is who he is with. So he was just like, nah, man, I do what I gotta do because I'm a hustler. He didn't say he a hustler, but he said he do what he do to get by. He been doing it all his life. That's the only way he can, that's the only way he pretty much be making his money. He a scammer. And so Calvin, he was just like, so, how does that feel though?